Okay, listen, tonight's the Met Gala. And while that might not mean a lot to most people, to me, it's the makeup Olympics. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to wait for those looks. And they were just so pretty and so luxe and glamorous and over the top. I want to do that today. Now, before I go on anymore, look at this. This is fun, right? I'm going to tag that. We're on trend here. I'm thinking gold and pastel duochrome blue. It feels right. Let's do this. I'm so excited to create. I'm going to apply my eyeshadow base with an Anissa Beauty eye treatment brush. And I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm not sure how far I'm going to bring out my eyeshadow, so we're going to apply the eyeshadow base pretty far out. Remember, eyeshadow base gets covered with foundation and concealer later, so don't worry if it's too light for your skin tone. So I love the idea of reds, blues, and golds. Now when I say red, don't think true red, think brown with a very red undertone. This will be the second time I've used this palette, and I absolutely loved it the first time. So I'm going to hop into this color, but where I pick it up is very important. So you'll see it's on the side of the brush. Flip that towards the ceiling, and then we're just going to start to build that through the socket. And I'm kind of pressing it in. Even though it's towards the ceiling, it's really being pressed in to that base. So everything's a learning experience. Undertones are so important in makeup. I'm going to show you kind of just a true brown. Okay, you see that? And then you can see that how much red the color we're using has in it. It's important because a lot of times we want to recreate looks, okay? I used to be guilty of this. And I would say, oh, I'm just going to grab a brown eyeshadow, but I didn't grab the right undertone. It's important. It's super important. Let me swatch it side by side here. So this is the color we're using. Do you see that? I love makeup. Okay, for the inner part, I'm going to switch to an E27, and I'm going to be using the same shade. I just want a brush that's going to fit through here a little bit more. I don't want it to kind of lose its shape. I want it to be smoked out, but a little more defined towards the front. So switching to a smaller brush, very important at this stage. And you will notice that I am still pressing, and I have the product on the tip of the brush, and I'm just kind of pressing it and shaping it. So now I'm going to take the smallest amount of this shade, again on the side of the brush, still using that same E28, and we're going to start to lightly transition and smooth this top part. And I'm trying to decide how far over I want to bring this. All right, so I haven't used black eyeshadow in a very long time, so we need to use black eyeshadow. I'm going to grab this Pat McGrath palette because it has a black in it. You can use any black eyeshadow, but I'm going to grab this, and I'm grabbing it right on the tip of the brush. And from here, we're going to press that kind of in the deepest part of the socket, still pressing. Really add some drama here. Now, if I can tell you anything, and I can teach you anything, black eyeshadow, pick up the tiniest amount possible. I haven't picked up any more. And pressing is the key to black eyeshadow. If you're still in a habit of swiping, that's fine with all other eyeshadows aside from black eyeshadow. Black eyeshadow will get out of control and overblend so quickly. So we're really just kind of stamping it where we want it, and that's going to be enough to move it and blend it. So I want you to remember something. I used to think that, remember, I came from the era of 2016. Everything was just perfectly blended and then basically a cut crease. But what I didn't learn is that for different eye shapes, it's okay for shadow to not be blended. So you'll see through here, it's gonna be a lot more harsh, but you can also see that that's adding shape to my eye. That comes back to the word, well, eyeshadow. It's for shadowing and creating a different eye shape or enhancing your eye shape. So if I want to add a little bit more lift right here, I'm going to pick up black eyeshadow. The brush that I'm using is a prototype, don't get mad at me. But what I'm going to do is just darken it right there. And it's okay if it's not diffused like through here. And the reason why is because that's where we're going to get the shape and the definition. Remember that. Moral of the story is lay down your very diffused, smooth, beautifully blended shadows, then come back, study your eye, and see what you want to shade after that. Okay, so what I want to do is take my C30, the sharpest concealer brush in the tri-state area, and I really want to sharpen just the front part, and we're going to stop right there. I am just going to go ahead and kind of tap this, but I don't want it to be a cut crease, but I want tons of definition towards the front. Look at this gold. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to grab it on the C30. We're grabbing the gold from this palette. I'm so excited. I don't like messing up the B, but we have to. And we're going to place it here. Look at that. Why have I never thought to do shimmers with this brush? Jane, keep it down. It acts just like a fingertip. Ooh, that's pretty. It's basically a fingertip, but with more precision. Now, what I am doing, I'm gonna pick up some more of it, is I don't want this to be your classic cut crease. So we're just gonna smooth that line and let it melt into the black just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna leave the center open and you're gonna see why. Now we're gonna do the front part with the gold. So same pulling, pressing and pulling. Okay, so I just found my new shimmer brush. See? You just never know. Everything's multi-purpose. Ooh. Now we are gonna leave it defined here. That is so pretty. Okay, if you wear a lot of shimmer shadows, you have to try it with this brush. So I'm kind of pressing and pulling it, and then once I have it placed, I'll just kind of tap it up to where I want it, and then I get precision, and then over here, I'm able to kind of diffuse with it as well. So we'll let the gold kind of melt and go over the black here, but we'll keep it nice and defined through here. Okay, now we're gonna pick up this shade, and wait for it. We're gonna take this through the center. Look at this. Remember to press and pull. Then once we have most of it placed, I'm gonna take it and again, I'm gonna tap it and just kind of soften the line. And then we'll melt it into the gold on both sides. That's so pretty. So now I'm gonna grab my E28 again, and I'm just kind of moving these gold flecks. You're still gonna be able to see the definition, but it just kind of softens and takes it away from that cut crease vibe. Gives it a little bit more of an editorial look. Now I'm trying to decide what kind of color I'm doing on my lash line. All right, so I decided on burgundy really quickly. This is Free Burgundy Artist Color Pencil from Makeup Forever. I'm just going to run it along my lash line. We're not going to do a wing, but I am going to smudge this out with some brown shadow, which you'll see in just a second. So I'm grabbing that first shadow that we laid down, and I'm just going to smudge it out. I'm using an E27. Yep, that's the vibe. I might add an extra extended little lash. Y'all have seen what I've been doing recently. I might do that once we get our lashes on. So we've kind of reached a point with the eye that we can't finish it and add all of that spice till we get our foundation on. So let me run downstairs because I've got a package. I gotta go get that, and we'll finish the complexion. Okay, so we went with House of Lashes Pattrick Ta. It's an after party. And then I'm just kind of pinching them into my natural lashes. Okay, listen, so this is why I go downstairs and I check my mail. I'm not one of those influencers who lets boxes stack up. The moment a box hits my door, I rip it open like it's Christmas. Look at this box filled with MAC. This excites me. This is what I needed for my Met Gala look. Okay, so I think its focus is on these eye pencils. I don't want to run out of slides, but there's a bunch of eye pencils, which we will go through eventually. I grabbed this one. It's their new gel pencil eyeliners, and this is Serial Monogamist. And I went ahead and ran that on my waterline. It's kind of a really cool color. It's a olivey bronze, so it's gonna look brown, but with more spice. And look at this. Just look at it. I'm not gonna use it today because I had something else planned, but that's this. And I love it. And I'm dropping it because I'm so excited. So for my complexion, I'm gonna use this one here from Yinza. It's the Super Serum Foundation. And I remember I used it the other day and I absolutely loved it. And I'm actually gonna grab a brand new Anisa Beauty Pinnacle Foundation brush. And we're gonna melt this in. Isn't that pretty? I really like this one. Covers up the redness in my ear. Love the match. Nice. Actually, I'm gonna be right back because I'm gonna go film my favorite contours at the moment. It'll be really, really quick though. I'm just gonna film it in TikTok. I found a really nice affordable one. I actually have a couple affordable options and then I have a couple high-end that I wanna show you, but they're actual contours and not bronzers. So be right back. Okay, so now I want to try this. I bought this the other day. I haven't tried it. I believe this is, I don't know. Is it the same formula that it used to be? Is it a new packaging? Do we know? Do we have time to discuss? We really don't, because I've been running out of slides lately and I'm out of control. MAC Studio Fix, I'm wearing the shade NW28. I'm going to work this in with my Anisa Beauty Angle Concealer Brush. Thin, pigmented, already loving that. Feels like nothing underneath my eye. So I really want my skin to kind of still be a little more luminous. So I'm gonna use my Givenchy powder today. And I'm only gonna set under my eye and the center of my face for now. We'll see where it takes us. That's so pretty. Y'all, we are running so low on brushes that I had to go scrounge up the original prototypes. I don't even have my actual brushes, the ones that look like this. So I had to go find this because I washed them and I only have about 3 sets of these brushes. So I washed all of my brushes and I had to go scrounge up this OG prototype. I have some of the Givenchy powder on here and I'm gonna take this and just kind of do some detail setting. I wanna set just through the center of my forehead and around my brows. Wasn't that satisfying? And I'm using the side of my brush to press that in. That's really gonna help with the longevity of the makeup. By the way, this is the E29 and this is what I call my finishing brush. Honestly, we're not done with it yet, so get ready to see it in action. This is what just puts all the spice and all the zhuzh into the look. Okay, so I'm going to bronze and then I'm going to contour, but I'm gonna film the contour off camera. But y'all see me contour. But I like to bronze first and I'm grabbing this on my C40 and I'm using my LA Girl bronzer and I'm just gonna start to press this in. Now I didn't set the rest of my face because I want it to look extra dewy. Look at that, it's like I already have highlighter on, it's delicious. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. But what I do wanna do is make sure that I'm pressing and you'll see that it just blended really, really nice. This is my first tutorial. It blended in really nicely. And don't forget, we can always take the foundation brush that we originally used and just kind of tap over the edges. Nice. Okay, I'm back. So I have my bronzer and contour here and nothing here. That's pretty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this shade from the Pat McGrath palette. And I'm grabbing it on my C40, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start to stamp it kind of through here. And that's gonna be our blush. And then we can start to finish up this spicy eye. So we're gonna grab the first shade we started with on the E27, press that underneath here. And we're kind of gonna just elongate this. Fun. So now I'm taking Givenchy powder, the one that we used to set underneath our eye, and I'm just gonna start to ever so lightly sweep across here and really start to melt that eyeshadow. Look how fun that is. Really start to melt it into the foundation. But we're not done. Okay, I have to use this color from the palette. We're gonna take this on our brow bone. I love how you can always see through these. You can still see the skin. And I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to right here. I can't wait for you to see this with back camera. And we'll go ahead and use that same shade on our inner corner. E27. All right, I'm thinking cool tone nude. I'm gonna start with MAC lip liner in the shade Stone. Now we're gonna go in with this Mario lipstick. And I love how it's kind of matching the undertones here. I know, I hear the UPS truck too, Douglas. All right, y'all. I think we ran out of room. Maybe not. The Pat McGrath Bridgerton Body Shimmer. Ooh, it smells pretty. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm gonna be so pretty when I'm done. Okay, we've officially ran out of room. I'm not gonna add any highlight because I didn't set here, and look at how pretty that looks. No texture, just wonderful glow. I love you all. I'm gonna go edit my video. I talk about contour, some of my favorite contours. Ooh, true contours. There's gonna be a part 2, so look out for that. I'm gonna go take a picture of this take video because I like it. I feel like, I don't know what I feel like. Really and truly, I just feel like a really spicy beetle. You know what I'm talking about. All right, I love you all so much. I gotta go at 6:08. I gotta go. Got to go. I love y'all, and I'll see you in the comments in just a little while.